Hola, acá de nuevo. ¿Qué diferencia ayer con hoy, verdad? Ayer, Dios mío, me estaba enloqueciendo, pero ya ahora todo fluye y todas las presentaciones, si están pudiendo ver las presentaciones, ya están descargadas, o sea, inmediatamente terminamos una sesión, queda guardada en donde dice schedule y si por alguna razón no lo pudieron ver, pueden ver otra vez el video. Hi, Zoe, thank you for joining.
Hello. Hello, Camilla. Thank you so much for the kind invitation to join the summit.
No, thank you for accepting to join us.
It's my pleasure.
Zoe is from Impact Zones, and she will focus her presentation on all sustainability and free trade zones, which is a topic that it's extremely relevant in this moment. So thank you very much. You want me to present the slides, or you want to do it?
Maybe you can do it. Yeah, let's do it that way. I think that might be easier. I just sent you the latest PDF a few minutes ago. I think it's
okay.
Just need to grab the last one.
Okay. Yeah, I have it here. Yeah, I was telling to the people and to the audience that just joined, Uhud, that the presentations are in schedule, and once we finish the presentation, the video is automatically uploaded. So you can check for the videos and the broadcast that has already happened. That's the advantage of this platform. So people were telling me, why you're not using Zoom? I've been using Zoom 5 years, but for a summit, I consider that this one is faster because you can just check if you missed any of the presentations.
It's working very well. I've been following it since yesterday, and apart from a few startup technical issues, it's been working beautifully. Well done.
Thank you. Okay, so I'll hide.
Please let me know when you would like me to go ahead with my introduction.
You can start meanwhile I upload your presentation.
Okay, good. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining this presentation. My name is Zoe Harries. I'm originally from South Africa. I live in Amsterdam with my family. I have a background in FDI, and Special Economic Zone Advisory. And over the last few years, more and more, I've been specializing in sustainability. As it is close to my heart, I'm very passionate about making an impact in this world. And it's not only environmentally, but also making a social impact and also looking at commercially viable models. So I believe in creating a new model in which we can achieve economic/commercial success together with making a social and environmental impact through FDI, using special economic zones as important catalysts and accelerators in this process. So this is me, and I have had the honor to work with many governments across the globe. Main focus areas have been Middle East, Africa, Latin America, and Caribbean. Now, actually, momentum has come to really accelerate the SDGs through smart, sustainable investment through special economic zones. And this is my mission now, to make sure that we can support governments, businesses, and communities, multilateral organizations in aligning to support this effort, because I do believe that all parties need to work very closely together. And with the COVID-19 situation, this has highlighted that we're all in the same boat together. You can't see countries as separate, all in one world, and we need to overcome this challenge which we're facing now, which I see as a great opportunity to be more collaborative. So Camilla, are we ready to start the slides?
Yeah, but I'm seeing that you cannot see them. I think because it's a PDF. Did you send it to me on PowerPoint?
No, I can do that now. Would you like it now?
Yes, please, because with PDF I'm having problems.
Because otherwise, what if it doesn't work, then I will just have to zip through the slides. I will have to click, but I'm going to send it to you now. But let's hope that it's going to work.
Meanwhile, I put the chat so people can interact.
Now my PowerPoint is not responding. It should work. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's 9 megabytes, which should.
Or you can put where your screen is, and then share a screen, and then you can share your screen. Because I was not able to do it with the PDF. I don't know why. I don't find it.
Okay, I've sent the PowerPoint, but I'm happy to.
Wait just 1 second, and people will tell me if they're seeing it. Okay, I think now you're seeing it. Don't worry. You can start.
Okay. I can't see the full slide, which is not a problem here with the title, but it will be going down. Have you, in the meantime, got the PowerPoint version?
Yeah.
Perhaps it would be more
Like
useful.
this.
Are you bringing it up? Otherwise, shall I work from my PowerPoint and like you work the screen from there?
I think you're seeing my screen now, no? People are seeing my screen.
Is this the PowerPoint or the PDF?
The PDF.
Because I can't see the full slide. So if I'm reading off
No, I put it in small. You will see it now.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So we're going to talk about a new reality, because I think for everyone it's clear right now that that we are entering into a new reality. We are going to return to a new normal. Things are not going to be the same as they were. Perhaps you can scroll down, Camilla. So I like to quote Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein has a famous quote saying, "You cannot solve a problem with the same mind which created it." So I would like to invite everyone in this presentation to be open to a new way of thinking and a new awareness on how to strategize for the future and seize new investment opportunities from a different frame of mind. Okay. Ooh, I hope I can read this. It's very small letters. Okay. So looking at a new reality, I saw this image this week coming from a marketing company, and basically 3 waves have been identified. So if we look at the first wave, this is where we're in right now. We're in the middle of the lockdown period within the COVID-19 situation. So what I want to talk about is how to move on. It's like, what are we going to do now? So first, like we've been shocked by this new situation. Second of all, it's like, okay, what do we do now? How do we move forward? How are we going to find our investors, not being able to travel? And so how long is this going to take? So this is a forecast that this is going to take another 7 or 8 months. And then the new normal expecting to emerge from March 2021. Now, obviously, the travel restrictions, we all anticipate from the second half of 2020 that we will be able to travel again. But personally, I do feel it's going to take a while before everything speeds up to a pace which we were used to. So we can expect the new normal to start early next year, which I think this is quite achievable or realistic outlook. So what can we do now? We obviously are traveling less. We have more time available to contemplate, and most importantly is to prepare for a new reality. So you can see it as like right now we're in a transitional period, but we don't want to lose any time, because this is the most valuable time to actually review our value proposition as a free zone, as a special economic zone. Maybe we can look at the next slide. So if we're looking at our value proposition, looking at our winning location value proposition, this has now changed with the new reality and the situation we are in. So usually we would have identified the benefits of investing in our location, whether we are an IPA or a special economic zone, and usually there's an overlap there in our unique selling points. Also looking at, okay, what are the investors looking for? And then also looking at the weaknesses of our competing locations. Now, this is all shifted. So this is an excellent time to review what is the sweet spot we want to be aiming for, what is going to be our unique value proposition. Now, it's hard to be unique, but now we have the advantage of being able to be a pioneer. So the faster we act and get our foundation right, the more we're going to have a head start on our competing locations and competing free zones, special economic zones. So from looking from a sustainability point of view and a new reality, in which I do believe our new reality is going to be based on sustainable principles, we can look at how can we make a contribution to the livable and sustainable development of the region. So this has also got to do with making an economic and environmental impact, because by bringing in these investments, the principles of economic development have always been sustainability, but now we really need to apply these principles. So it's not all about making profits in the short run, only looking at the ROI. We also need to look at what is the social and environmental ROI, because in the long run, if we're destroying the environment, there won't be any location value proposition left in 20 years. So we have to think in the long run. So also from an investment point of view, but I'll get back to that later. So we also have to look at what are the innovation sectors and okay, you'd like it faster. Camilla? Hello?
Yes. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, good. So bringing us to the new reality, we can identify new opportunities, and we can look at the Sustainable Development Goals as set out by the UN in 2015, identifying areas in which there are essential development areas in need of investment. So examples are water resources. How can we look at renewable energy opportunities? Looking at technology and innovation, empowering the local community in terms of fintech opportunities for investment, and most importantly, food. So Latin America is obviously a large producer of agricultural products. So looking at those sectors in terms of opportunities to attract investment, because food security is a huge challenge. So, and on the left-hand side, you can see an overview is looking what impact investors are doing, because impact investment, from a financing point of view, is the fastest growing form of financing. So, to unlock development finance, we have to look at what impact investors are doing, and seeing if we can come to opportunities to create blended finance packages to support projects, to finance projects and accelerate investment in the region. Also looking at attracting more regional companies. So moving away from globalization, creating very fragile supply chains. So we want to make the supply chains more manageable and more resilient. So I believe in attracting more local investments, or more regional, let's put it that way. So an example, what can you do as a special economic zone is, for instance, what I saw a great initiative in Costa Rica, which was shared by Cinde. They started a collaboration here called Collaboration Costa Rica, Collab CR, in which they've joined forces with producing healthcare equipment. So between special free trade zones and Costa Rican companies, basically taking this opportunity, not wasting any time. And this project has put together a cluster, an ecosystem of organizations and companies to produce protective equipment for COVID-19, for the COVID-19 situation. So this is an example what you can do as a collaboration, bringing parties together. So the IPA, the national government, as well as the special economic zone, the companies already in the special economic zone, and seeing if you can even attract a few more companies to join forces and even bring in a small amount of FDI under the circumstances. So looking at sustainable economic zones, what we are looking at, the traditional special economic zones were competing on the basis of low tax rates, few rules, so the ease of doing business, and low standards, so cheap labor. So now we are looking at becoming more competitive and a sustainable special economic zone by upping our environmental standards and social standards, as well as governmental standards. So becoming less bureaucratic, more transparent, making a social impact, and also applying regenerative and circular practices, supporting the environment. Next slide, please. So special economic zones are a good place for the circular economy. So circular economy is based upon the principle that the one company's waste is the other company's resource. So looking at putting ecosystems and clusters together in which they can work together in bringing down their CO2 emissions. And because a special economic zone is a smaller geographical area, it's a great testing ground to apply these principles, which can at a later stage be scaled at a larger to larger areas, and new policies can be applied on a national level if these prove successful. The next slide, please. So having looked at the value proposition, looking at opportunities, we also need to review our target sectors and geographies. So there are many new opportunities emerging from this new situation, from the new reality. So maybe you can scroll down. So looking at the different sectors, this is just an overview of what the sectors look like within Latin America in 2018. So this is outdated. Obviously, this is all going to shift, because if you look closely, like tourism right now isn't a very attractive sector to invest in. However, agriculture and renewable energies are very attractive industries. I'd also say telecommunications, ICT in general, technology, looking at medical devices, pharmaceuticals, data centers. So there are new great opportunities emerging, which need to be researched, as well as looking from where are we looking for where are the sources of investment coming from, because there might be a shift also due to geopolitics. Next slide, please. So based upon all these findings, we have to redevelop our marketing strategy. And this is a PPP model that we developed based on sustainable development. So looking at, first of all, internal buy-in. So while we're now developing our marketing strategy and obviously not being able to do a proper outreach yet, we can really focus on getting internal buy-in with our own organizational members. Then the integrated marketing is once we've developed the value proposition, choosing the channels, what kind of message are we putting out there, what are the services we're offering, and the incentives, what is our sustainability proposition. On the other hand, we can use this time very well to engage with our stakeholders. So also solidify new partnerships, aligning with governments, with the IPA, intermediaries. So these are like law firms, accounting firms. You can also see them as multipliers. If you've established a good relationship with them, you might also get new leads through them, new investors. Also solidifying relationships with financial institutions, impact investment funds, and also engaging with industry associations. And then looking at what do we want as an outcome from all these marketing efforts. We're looking not only at increased revenues, increased investments, but we're also looking at how we're going to make a social impact, set KPIs. There are measuring tools for that. How are we making an environmental impact? How are we supporting multilateral organizations in achieving their goals, like the UN with the SDGs? How are we operating on an ethical level? Also in terms of sustainability, if we're not operating ethically, obviously at some point there might be an issue. And also building our brand as a special economic zone. This might this will definitely add a lot of value in terms of competitiveness globally. The next slide, please. So looking while we're laying down the fundamentals during this period, we can also review our services. As Chris already mentioned in his presentation, services are becoming more relevant and more important than just incentives alone. So we can look at, do we still provide our investors with relevant and updated data? How is are we able to operate as a one-stop shop for investors? As soon as they knock on our door, are all our systems and staff aligned? So investor facilitation, are we up to date with our incentives packages? How can we fine-tune our advisory, stakeholder engagement, which I already mentioned, and how can we also support with regards to HR services and training? The next slide, please. So what we, our online, we skipped a few slides. We've reviewed our online presence and marketing and social media tools, increased our exposure online, which we would like to measure. So it's good to invest in a social media or an online marketing monitoring tool. This is an example from a platform called Sife. You also have like HubSpot will also provide these services. There are many more. So they integrate the number of visits to your website. They will capture leads. You can see how many clicks there are on your newsletter, how your social media channels are performing, LinkedIn, Instagram, becoming more important, Facebook. and you can set key performance indicators and measure on a weekly basis and see how the engagement is going with your target audience and what your conversion is. So how many of your audience are you actually reaching and are actually making an inquiry and ultimately investing? Okay. So this is an excellent opportunity to engage with your existing investors. This was already mentioned before as well. So pick up the phone. I mean, unfortunately, we can't visit them physically, but pick up the phone, call them how they're doing, offer your help. How can you support? See whatever they have to say. Listen to their issues, to their concerns. But also you will be able to identify some new opportunities. So you can update your CRM system while you're on the phone with your existing investors. You can add new leads following your increased exposure on social media. Next slide, please. Yeah, got that. Oh, yeah, and then obviously identify leads, but I just mentioned that. That was the last point there. And then based upon all your findings, you can redevelop an agile business development strategy. I think most of all, you need to be flexible. So just map out, and I would say 3 to 5 scenarios, be flexible in your timeline, and adjust accordingly. So looking at the sustainable development goals, by aligning with the SDGs within your investor attraction value proposition, or your marketing value proposition, your investor attraction strategy, it will be very helpful in attracting new investors. So it's very important to align with these sustainable development goals, as CSR reporting is becoming actually like the new normal as well. So companies are also going to be selecting special economic zones and free zones based upon their sustainability, the CSR rating. There isn't one standard yet, but I know the OECD is working on a new standard for economic development. So we're looking into these tools as how to develop a new standard for free zones and special economic zones, also together with FORMOSA, in how to, and UNIDO, how to align with the SDGs and be able to qualify as a sustainable special economic zone and set a new global standard. I work very closely with my team of Impact Zone. We work with a global network of consultants, and our strategic partner, Vessel Global, works closely with us on developing those SDG criteria and methodology for special economic zone advisory. Here you can see a short overview of our services, which I already touched upon, so I wouldn't spend too much time on this. It's you will get a copy of the presentation. We cover our services are offered to clients globally. We aligned with a few universities like Nairobi Business University in the Netherlands. We are aligned with multilateral organizations like UNIDO, OECD, and associations such as FORMOSA and the South African Netherlands Chamber of Commerce for our work, which we're doing in sub-Saharan Africa. So these are just examples, not limited to. And we are a partner of the European Brand Institute, so working on an SDG standard for sustainable economic zones. And this is one of my favorite quotes. It's not the strongest of species that survives, but the most adaptable. And I think this is very applicable in these times. Thank you very much. And I welcome your questions.
Thank you. So that was very, very useful presentation. And I think, like, if I can summarize your presentation in just few words, is sustainability is the new normal.
Yes, absolutely.
I definitely believe that this is something that happened to the world. Just saying, like, okay, stop what you're doing. You have to, what you in the quote you just put, you have to adapt again. We were destroying the world in some sense, and the world is just saying, like, stop, you're doing something wrong, and you need to rethink what you are doing. So this is the perfect time and to think about the world we live in. We definitely need to work in our free trade zones with the sustainable development goals. And okay, that's a comment, not a question. I thought it was a question. So if you can please let your email and all your details in the chat, I will really appreciate it. And we will continue with thank you, Hussam from DAFTA in Dubai. He's here with us, and I think right now it's late in Dubai. So thank you.
Wow, thank you. Lovely.
Time.
It's late in Dubai as well.
It is. So that's a great honor.
Much appreciated.
To know that we have people even staying until late to hear us. So thank you very much. So thank you very much. We are, as I already told you, we're going to close this session so that the video can get uploaded on the schedule and you can see it at any time. And we will finish immediately with our president for the final remarks, conclusions, recommendations, and all the chat. So thank you, so. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone, for joining this presentation. I'm truly honored, and I'm like shocked. It's like almost 1,800 people. It's like unbelievable.
Yeah, we have from 58 countries.
Very much appreciated, and I hope together we can achieve a sustainable new reality.
Yeah, completely agree. So thank you. Bye-bye. See you in the conclusions.
Thank you so much. Good luck with the rest of the summit. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.